Hello, my name is X's or X, or you can even call me Alexis, honestly. And welcome to my channel, The X's Diaries. Today I wanted to start something new. I may not have an audience at the moment, but that can change. And I want to talk about my keepsake journal. So basically, I want to do something where I talk about the topics that I write in my keepsake journal. Why keep it to yourself? Why keep it to yourself? I might as well. I might as well share it with the world. I'm sorry for the weird wonky angle. The camera phone stand thing that I have, it's a little wonky and it doesn't want to align right because I think my phone is too heavy. But that's okay, you see. Anyway, I want to come on here and talk to you guys about basically defense for Chloe Price and how she acts because and let me tell you something. I was never a fan of Chloe Price when I was younger. When the game came out, I was like 2012. This was like 2012, right? I have to look. But it's okay. But I was like 12, 13, 14. I was like a child. And when I saw PewDiePie playing it, because I didn't play it myself, I was like, I don't like the blue haired one. She's a little abrasive, a little annoying, very rude to the main character who's supposedly her old best friend. And I just didn't understand any of the aspects that were going into it. Fast forward today, me as an adult, I played the first Life is Strange for myself, and most of the opinions here on YouTube, I think it's because of how they played. And I wasn't like ass kissing to Chloe, but she was really nice to my Max. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. I was just being myself and picked the options that I felt the best, and Chloe was chill with it every single time. Um, but I just wanted to come on here and defend her. So I actually started playing it Before the Storm myself tonight, and I have never played that for myself. I've seen my girlfriend play it, and when I saw her play it, Chloe was pissing me off. But I'm at a point where I started playing it myself, and honestly, I think half the shit she says is pretty funny, and it's definitely what I would have said as a teenager. I was an aggro teenager like her, didn't do all the crazy shit she did, but yeah. So let's start with her mother, Joyce Price. I'm assuming that everyone here knows Chloe's backstory. If you don't, Chloe used to be friends with someone named Max, who is the main character in the first game, Max Caulfield. And then Max had to move and all that, but she moved at the time that Chloe, her dad got into a car crash and she died. I mean, not she died. Oh my god. He died, leaving her and her mom alone. And yeah, it's sad. Imagine losing your best friend and your father basically in the same week. And yeah, she lost her best friend in a way of moving, but she lost her father in the way of death. And that does something to a child. It does. So let's start with Joyce, because it also does something to the mother. But it's the parents' job to make sure that their kids are okay. Yeah. So I was playing Before the Storm, and I was just watching the interactions between Chloe and her mom. And Chloe, she's a typical teenager who's like, fuck the system, I'm so emo, I'm so this, I'm so that. I used to be one of those, girl, I get it. I get it. You're feeling some type of way. You're going to try and use anything you can as an outlet, even being an asshole. But I'm going to just read straight from my keepsake journal. And it has hearts on it, even though half the shit I say in this is not love. If you guys hear jumping or pitter patters, it's because my dog, she's trying to get on the couch right now. And she's going to probably start walking around randomly, seeing what I'm doing. My phone's dying. Great. So let's get into it. Joyce Price. So, I'm playing Life is Strange Before the Storm, and Joyce is the epitome of how a mom should not be when dealing with grief. Letting a stranger into your home because you're lonely and grieving when you have a teenage daughter is so bad, especially when they're as selfish and stuck in their ways like David. Not listening to your daughter when she's trying to express her anger to you and calling her a problem when you're never there for her emotionally is wild. No wonder why Chloe feels so alone and does rash things. She's not being taught or led into the right lifestyle because if you play the game, I've only played the first episode, and every single adult's like, oh, you need to be like this, you need to be like this, you need to be like this. Give her an example, damn it. As a teenager myself, The adults always expecting me to act like that, similar to Chloe. And it's like, I'd be like, I don't understand what you're saying because you're not showing me how to fucking respect. You're not showing me how to do anything. You're not showing me how to live a good life. You're expecting it of me, but not teaching me. That makes no sense. And this is how I feel Chloe is. Her parental figure is not a role model at all and is barely there for her. And when she is there, she's just telling Chloe to basically assimilate or assimilate. I don't know how to say it, but you know that one word where you need to conform to what your parents or what society wants you to be. That's basically what she wants. And she doesn't want a nice little daughter who has her own opinion. She wants a robot, a daughter who's always easy, who does things when she's asked or told without needing to know why. Just yeah, a robot. And I, as a teenager girl, you should have seen me. My parents were just like that. They didn't want to explain anything to me. They didn't want to do anything. And that's why I was so angry at the world. Like I worked through it now, but like playing this game, I can understand why Chloe is so aggro in the way she is. Moving on to David. I hate David. I truly hate him. He's the epitome of everything a father should never be. He's a drill sergeant. No one wants a drill sergeant for a father. And I'm pretty sure if you were in the military, you wouldn't even want a drill sergeant as a drill sergeant. That's wild. In the book, I'm probably gonna. I don't have monetization, so I don't know. I'm probably gonna get demonetized. I'm not censoring myself. I call him David Cuntbag. That's what I put as lesson Cuntbag because that's literally how I felt after playing the game. I'm gonna read what I wrote now. So he demands respect with no reasoning other than because he's an adult, which that triggers the fuck out of me. Because as an adult now too, and the way I treat children is I'm gonna show them respect so they know how to treat me. I'm basically teaching them how to treat me by treating them the same way I want to be treated. You feel me? Obviously setting boundaries, but you don't just demand respect. Like, fuck that. Anyway, then he disrespects Chloe multiple times before demanding respect. Oh my god, yes. He's a walking hypocrite. He says a sexist comment about how it takes so long for women to get ready, and then he snaps at Chloe like this and then points down as if she was a fucking dog. Do you know how disrespectful that is? That's so fucking rude. But to do that to a teenager who understands what words are, that's disrespectful. That's hella disrespectful. All right. All right. And then after that situation, he tries to mansplain what a spark plug is to her after asking, do you know what a spark plug is? She says, yes, I know what a spark plug is and what they do. And he tries to tell her what it does. And she's like, dude, I already told you. I know what it does. And he's like, all right. Right? Like, wow. So, like, I don't know that, like, little things like that can piss an adult off, let alone a teenager who's aggro and at their wits' end with hormones. Jesus Christ. Anyway, moving on. Making sure my phone's not gonna die on me. Okay, and then it says, then demands respect from her. Like, how does he expect her to respect him if he shows her no respect? Teenagers, especially ones like Chloe, Jesus Christ, they need guidance, not a fucking firm hand. So him demanding respect while being disrespectful in of itself is wild. And it shows Chloe, hey, I don't give a fuck about you or your feelings. And so she'll definitely respond accordingly to that. In a much similar way, she'll be disrespectful. Wait, what the fuck you expect her to do? You expect her to be like, oh, I know how to act. I'm gonna act like this. Even though I've never been shown that. Bitch. Then when he gets the respect he thinks he deserves, he throws it back in her face. So after he drops her off at school in the first episode of Before the Storm, she says, "Thanks for the ride to school." He says, "Don't give me that sarcastic tone." And then when she tries to go back and be like, "Hey, I actually meant things," he was like, "I don't care. I see everything." Which brings me back to my point of how is she supposed to respect someone who has zero? Zilch. Noja. None. No respect for her. Like, they have no respect for her. How is she supposed to be like acting exactly how they want if they're not acting that way towards her? I don't get it. She's a teenager. She's a teenager. Show her how to act. If you don't like the way she's acting, show her how to act. And I'm not telling you to be rude to her, to be an asshole to her. Because if you're gonna be rude to her and be an asshole to her, that's how she's gonna act to you. That's literally how she's gonna act. Anyway, how as an adult, oh my god, literally what I just said, but I'm gonna read it anyway. I said, how as an adult do you expect a teenager who still hasn't gone through proper healing or gotten therapy, because she hasn't gotten therapy. Her mom hasn't either. She just has a self-help book on her bed, her side table, and puts the pictures of her dead husband away. So she pushes it down and acts like everything's normal and jumped in bed with the one guy who showed her attention, who's an asshole, who Chloe doesn't like, and she doesn't listen to her. Can you imagine that? But anyway, that's on Joyce. That's not on Chloe. How, as an adult, do you expect a teenager who still hasn't gone through proper healing or gotten therapy for a tragic event to respect you when she has no examples of how to do that? David gets what he gives and acts like a little brat because of it. Period. How are you a little baby as a man? I get Chloe being a little baby because she's a little baby. She's a teenager. But as a fully grown adult who's been through the military, that's psycho to me. You shouldn't be on the streets. You should not have a children. He doesn't have children, but yeah. Psh, I don't give a fuck. Chloe's not his daughter. All right. All right. And then fast forward to later in the episode, which brings me to my next point. The adults, like all of the adults in Chloe's life, except for maybe the science teacher. I forget her name, but if I find her name again, I'll put it here. She's dope. And so is what's his name? Oh my god, was it Spike? No. It's something. It's a security guard. You guys know who I'm talking about, right? Splash? Nope. I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna. His name's here. Thank you. The adults in Chloe's life, except for the ones that I just mentioned, are so fucking reactive to everything Chloe says or does, which is fuck. I couldn't imagine as a teenager who's grieving still for her father to go through that on top of the grieving. One text conversation between Chloe and Joyce proves this. So Joyce says, I don't like the way we left things. We'll talk it over tonight. And Chloe replies, perfect. All right, just perfect. And then Chloe gets the response from Joyce, is that a sarcastic perfect? Like, dude, be an adult, please. You're gonna nitpick everything your teenager is gonna do. If you're gonna do that, at least give her good examples on how not to do it. Like, I just feel like all the adults in this game, especially her mom, expect her to act a certain way. And it's like, how are you as an adult telling her, a teenager, to act a certain way when you are not there for her? She lost her father. She lost her father. You lost your husband. You guys should be bonding over this. You guys should be talking to each other about it. You guys, you should have an open, safe space for your daughter. But instead, you're just being closed off. You're trying to jump in bed with this asshole who Chloe keeps trying to tell you she doesn't like, who treats Chloe like a complete asshole, a second class person, which I don't even think that exists. That shouldn't exist. And it's like, how do you expect Chloe to trust you or tell you things if you're just trying to play drill sergeant to the man who she doesn't even like? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You demand respect, but you're not going to give it, especially if you're disrespectful. Because in the first episode, I didn't write enough about Joyce. But I remember in the first episode, Joyce was pissing me off. I was like, you expect your daughter to play nice with a man who doesn't even play nice to her? You're basically choosing this man over your daughter. And I dislike mothers who do that. Just personal experience. I'm not going to say why or who. But it's just, what the fuck, But that's my little, that's all I have to say about Chloe. And honestly, I'm glad I'm playing this game because I'm getting to see a different side of her. I'm getting to see why she is the way she is. And I might make a bigger deep dive video into this, but for the moment now, this is just like a spur of the moment, just like a Keepsake Diary. And it's just my thoughts on the game so far. I'm glad I'm playing this because I'm finally getting to understand Chloe Price more. I really disliked her when I was a child, but then I played the first game and I was like, she's not that bad. You know, I get it, but I don't like her. And now I'm playing this and I'm kind of actually starting to like Chloe Price. And so that's it. Thank you for listening to me rant about Chloe Price and her horrible, horrible parental figures. And yeah, I wish Chloe had her dad still because none of this shit would be happening. But that's not how the story unfolds. So, thank you for watching, and maybe I'll have more on this topic later. Goodbye, and thank you. Thank you again. Please subscribe if you want. Like this video if you liked it. I got shit on my face. Okay, goodbye.